Welcome back, fishing friends, to another adventure. I'm at my other favorite spillway. Got the crappie thunder, and I'm doing a little crappie fishing with a little homemade fly. Little jig, I mean. Got 4-pound line on here. Check out that big bullfrog right there. See that fatty? Oh man. Hey, if you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate all the support. Oh, I got a hit right there. So, dang it. I wasn't ready. So I pitched that in there. You can see it. It's just like a little... It's like a little bug, and hopefully I get a nice bite like I did on that one, but I wasn't paying attention. So I've got this on 4-pound sunline. Yeah, I'm usually making some kind of fishing video or points of interest video. Had a couple of thumps there. I'll get you a close-up of this little fly that I make. It's got a little bit of tinsel in it. Now the jig head itself is orange, and I put a little eye on there. I don't know if it helps or not. I always think it does, but the paint comes off too easy, even though I put like a little dab of gel coat on there. Anyway, so that's... Ooh, look at that, right when I was coming in. I was gonna say, that's the plan for the day. Well, this dude's gonna be pike bait. What do you guys think? A bass from this year? I think so. Look at that little dude. There he goes. So, micro fishing, it's not always about catching big bass, you know. Just put on a little fly like that, pitch it around. Sometimes I'll tip it with a little those little crappie bite nibble things. So that's going to be the plan for today. The first part, I'll be fishing with this, and then I've got some other big bass stuff and pike stuff I'll throw. Spinnerbait. But I love poking around with this stuff. Ooh, did you see that? The fish just jumped up there. That's usually a carp. Alright guys, right in here. Oh, check this out. This is a beautiful fish. It's a pumpkin seed. I was thinking it was a crappie. Man, check that out. So switch to just a little minnow. I didn't have much luck on the little jig, so I switched to this little dinky little minnow with a oversized jig head to make it look like a fathead minnow. That's pretty cool right there. So with this, I just give it a couple of twitches. Looks like I got a bite, maybe. Feels pretty decent. Oh, now this is a nice bluegill right here. Check that out. He's just in there feeding. Or those guys have got to watch out for big pike. And it is so much fun just to throw the little stuff sometimes. It gets me back to like when I was little, you know, a kid fishing. I want to say that's the smallest Kitech size maybe, but I may be wrong. So I'll give it a couple of twitches, and then it's on a slip bobber, so it can kind of do its little own twitching there. And sometimes I'll give it a couple of pops. I'm hoping to get a nice crappie out of there. Yeah, I got the other little hair jig snagged. I wasn't happy about that. Just right down in there, there's a bunch of rocks in there, and I was like, dang. Oops. Did you see that? I hit the dam, the spillway. I can see a bunch of minnows flickering over there in the corner. Let me try in there without getting snagged. That's how I got snagged. Let's go. Terrible. Up and over the rocks. All right, let's do that again. There we go, right where I want to be. Well, nothing there. Dang. Okay, guys. So I chucked it way out there in the middle. This is the other way I'll fish it. I'll just slowly crank it in with the occasional pause. That's if I'm over deeper water. Because sometimes those crappie can be just sitting right out in the middle. And they see this little dude zipping along. This is a good spot to throw football jigs and Ned rigs. I haven't thrown any worms. Worms are good to throw too, like power bait worms. I may try to rig one of those up here and see how we do. All right, last time through, then we're gonna switch to some other stuff, some bigger lures. Had a couple more sniffs on this, but nothing substantial. I keep seeing all the bait just in the water. There's just thousands of minnows. And you can see them flash, and then I can see them swimming by. Yeah, this looks just like a minnow in there. We'll do one more cast through there. One more. Nothing doing. Sometimes those little minnows will chase after this. I don't know if those are little pike, little bass. All right, let's switch it up. What do you guys think? A spinnerbait and a daredevil color? Let's go for it. All right, it's a requirement for me to fish with a spoon out here or a spinnerbait, because this is where I learned how to fish with them. I got this one on the Bass X, and this is a Cast King Spartacus 2. This one's from Blackfly Lures. Boy, I got a pop there. Sheesh! And he didn't take it. So I got a Berkeley Power Stinger on there. And this thing looks good, just floating through. It's got all those willows. I gotta get where my footing is. Every time I step, I'm like sliding on rocks. Ah, the bullfrog made it back into the water. Yeah, that looks good. I've caught a ton of pike on them in here, and bass with a good old-fashioned spinner. Love the colors. See, something spooked all the bait fish here. They're around, these big pike, big bass. Both large and smallmouth. Big meaning for a smallmouth, anything over 17 inches. For a bass, largemouth, And that water's clear. For a largemouth, 18 to 20. My dad's pulled a 20 out of here before. That's unusual. Smallmouth, actually between 15 and 17 are trophies here. I catch a lot of fish here on a beetle spin too. I need to make a good beetle spin video or a jig spinner, like a little one. I love these Bass X rods, guys. They're the lowest entry for St. Croix, but man, they're spinning and casting rod. The thing is, you can beat them up, and they're just a solid rod. The only thing is now, since we've been in tough times, their price has gone up. Used to be able to get them for right around 100 and less than 100. I've seen them as low as 85 bucks. Now everything's like 120, 130. All right, so with this, crank, 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 kill it, crank, 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 kill it. And then the other thing is to burn it. All right, guys, here we go, right there. What is it? It's my footing. Oh, it's a nice pike. Let's go, bank flip. There we go. Let me get you. Ah, gotcha. There he is, guys, on the spoon. I mean, on the spinnerbait with that daredevil color. There you go, buddy, for the release. Well, he shot out of there. Ooh, there he goes, right there. He's fine. I tried to get a better bank flip. A pike is hard to bank flip because of the... Let's see if he frayed this. Ooh, yeah. Whew, I gotta retie. They're hard to bank flip because they're so long. So, I tried to get him up. Ooh, look, a sneaky snake. See him? Well, he's just hanging out there. All right, I gotta retie this. All right, guys, there it is. In the daredevil pattern. So, one thing I like about these is that this top arm does not go past the hook. That's a key thing. Jimmy Houston talks about that. I'm pretty sure Jason Christie does. You want, and this is good wire too. This is sturdy, and so you want to have the ability for them to be able to hammer that thing. You don't need a trailer hook with it. So this is 10-pound gin clear from Berkeley, and it works just fine on the Spartacus 2 from Cast King, and of course the Bass X. I saw him come in and swipe at it right as it was coming into shore. They do that a lot. Pike love to hit in close because they don't want it to get out of the water. This is where I caught my PB pike one year. 36.5 inch pike. There's that sneaky snake. I was gonna get my phone and get a video of him. You better watch out. You better watch out. That bullfrog will eat him. Sometimes you'll see them up there too. Or a pike will eat him. Yeah, I've heard about that, how a bullfrog will eat a little snake. He just sits there. Oh well, we'll let him be. Yeah, I love this Casking Spartacus too. I used to fish and I made videos right here of me using their Sharky 2, which is such a great little spinning reel. I wore that thing out. I mean, I literally wore it out. That was a rainbow cast with that. All right, guys, check this out. This is a Bomber 13A. I gotta watch out for the rocks and snags in here, but this lure in this size, I've caught tons of bass on it. Something about it, it's like a little snack coming through. It's in that same kind of reddish color as a Daredevil. See that slow rise with it? Ooh. Man, Bomber just makes some epic lures. And not very many people throw them anymore. Kind of a shame, you know. Yeah, when I was doing the Ned Rig, guys, just anything in there, I was just smoking fish left and right. So we may try the Ned Rig also, but there's so many of these lures I want to fish with. I hadn't had a chance to really fish with to test them out here. I've tested them out in Texas, but there went a fish jumping. Did you see that? Looked like a smallmouth. You see the sneaky snake ready to ambush right there? He's waiting for those pack of minnows to come by. All right, guys, on the Smithwick Rogue. Ooh! It was a smallmouth. Foxy Mama right here. Suspending, boy, he just clocked it. There's that stinking snake. He's my fishing buddy for the day. Yep, I just tied this on. I was gonna switch to like a Ned Rig or a Neko Rig. I hadn't done a Neko Rig yet, and I saw this in there, and I was like, you know what? See how that's light? The sun's out, and then you got shadows. This thing reflects such light so good. They're coming through there, and then you kill it. It's just suspending. irresistible. There she is, right there. And it's such old school gold, guys. Golly. Man, I love Smithwick and bombers and big O's. If you guys aren't fishing those, you gotta get with it. So this one, it's actually a good swimmer. And you can fish it as a topwater if you do it right. So I just give it its pops. I let it sit there because it'll suspend. A couple of twitches. Twitch, twitch. Everyone freaks out about how it's not castable. Well, you saw me cast it way out there. There we go. Such a cool bait. See, you could zing that way the heck out there. Actually, the best technique, as soon as it hits the water, is just do a sweep with it, because it gives it the really nice consistency. Alright guys, so this is how I do my Neko rig. In the middle first, but a lot of times I'll move it up a little bit higher. I got a little nail weight in the back end of this thing, so sometimes I'll reverse it, but you just have fun with it. And I hook it away from the head, and it works out pretty good for me. Oh, I already had a fish come after that. Anyway, there you go. So you just bounce it around. Ugh. I've got this on this Magnum hitworm. So let's give it a shot and see how we do. With the current coming in there, I just let it move it, really. I don't have to twitch it too much. But the cool thing with this is it replaces a wacky rig in a lot of sense. You can get weedless setups. I've got the exposed hook here, so I gotta be careful, but there goes all those bait fish. Do you see them? So there's the worm. It's perfect. Perfect. Here's our snake again. There we go, guys. Right there. It doesn't take much. What is it, a bass? Yep. Big flip. There we go. And that's pretty much it for me. It's not a bad fish right there. It's fun to catch. Let's get him back in there. I gotta straighten it up back a little bit. Nail weights in there. You can get a bunch of these roofing nails if you want to save money. But a lot of guys rig them different, so you just got to figure out what you want and how you want to rig it. You don't always have to do what, oh, you got to do it this way, you got to do it that way. You got to experiment. Oh, did I get it in the tree? Hey, look, there's a bobber. I did. I got it out. There's a bobber right there. I can get my lure retrieval tool and get that one later. How did I cast that into the tree, for crying out loud? Oof. I was looking down at the snake. See him over there? There we go. Crying out loud. Little distractions can do it. He's getting closer to where that big bullfrog is. Anyway, let's focus on what we're doing here. There we go. Boy, he just smoked it. What do we got here? Boy, he's just jumping all crack. It's got to be a smallmouth. Yep, it's a smallmouth. He's just going nuts. There he is. The old stomach grab, which seems to calm them, but look at that. That's a beautiful fish. That's pretty good size for here. I've caught much bigger, but it's good for this. For the release. All right, so there you go with the Neko. Do you think the scent has something to do with it? Could be. You know how max scent is. All right, guys. Like you guys know, I'm not any kind of a fishing pro. I just do it to have fun. But you can slide it up if you want it further up. I like it kind of in the middle there. I use a tool, one of those little tools you can slide it on. And this thing, it just bounces around really well. So I'm fishing this on the Mags 6'8", 12-pound Sunline braid to 14-pound fluoro leader. I gotta be careful over there because there's stinking rocks. I gotta keep it moving, but the current will help with it. Do I have a fish? I got one. Ooh, and he let go. He didn't commit. That was a bluegill. Because when I pulled him up, I saw him flash down. So he just had the end of that thing. I gotta check to see if my nail weight's still in there. There we go. That's all was left, guys. Man, I set the hook. I don't know how he got it off of there. Crazy. All right, let's re-rig. All right, guys, we're back in business. I'm not counting those as fails. I'm counting those as bluegill hitting it. There we go. Normally I just reel into them. You don't really need to set the hook that hard. This is a good fish right here. Ooh, it's a largemouth. Easy, easy. Come on. Yeah, it's not a good idea, guys, to hold the line like that when you're pulling you're fishing, but bank fishing, sometimes I got to do that. I try not to handle them too much. Oh, there he is right there. That's a good fish. For here, that's pretty good. Splat. Let me check the rigging. The thing is, you don't want them to really choke it down too far because they can't get it, swallow it. So you just got to get the timing down. You don't need to do a massive hook set. I just reel into them. Sometimes like those ones that flew out, it looked like I was doing a massive hook set, but what? On a rock? No. Holy cow! I was on a rock, and then I was getting pecked at by a. He took it under a rock, maybe. What the heck was that? That was weird. I think it's those bluegill. Because I was stuck under something and then I felt him tugging. Uh-oh, felt something. That's a good thing about having that kind of nail weight in there. You can feel the bottom. And these Magnum hitworms are perfect for this. All right, guys, we're hooked up again. He's trying to drag me into the rocks. What is he? Oh, it's a nice largemouth. Another one. Let's go. So this one's getting up there pretty good, trophy-wise. For here, that's pretty good fish. Northern strain largemouth. Beautiful. There you go. For the release. All right, so there you go. You can kind of see, I don't put it on camera very much, but that's how I do the Neko Rig with the max scent. Remember, have your hook facing away from the head. You just twitch it along. Keep it upright so that now some stuff will be buoyant, naturally buoyant. You won't have to, but I do it so I don't get hooked on the rocks. And they'll find it. Ooh. Oh no. False alarm. I was on a rock there. You just gotta be kind of careful. Yeah, you will have some of the smaller fish try to peck at it. Alright guys, we're hooked up. Didn't feel like he's very big, but he's fighting pretty good. What is it, a little largemouth? All right, there we go, not bad. A nice little largemouth, there you go. For the release. That's good stuff right there. All right, guys, it's gonna wrap it up for me for today. Until next time, I will see you then. Bye-bye. Now get out there and get your lures wet.